Welcome back to my YouTube channel, guys. If you're new to my channel and you do not know who I am, my name is Gade Philip, or Gade for short. Make sure you guys like, comment and subscribe to the ting. Today I am back with a mix-up Gade with the one and only Maggie Mayhem. But before we get into this video, I want to tell you guys about Veyesbeauty sell affordable, high quality cluster lash extensions. When I went on the website, they had so many to pick from and they are so easy to install. I want to show you guys how to put them on. Today I'm going for a more natural look. I take the cluster off the card, get the bond and apply it directly onto the cluster. I then put that directly on my natural lash line and look at the difference. Look at that. I then use the seal, put that on just so that they do not budge, and voila. I need you guys to look at my lashes, please. And this took me about 5 minutes. Oh my gosh. And one thing about me, I love a little natural enhancement. Make sure you guys check out the eyes, okay? Now, let's get into this video. It has been 3 years since Maggie Mayhem has graced my screen.
You're lying.
The Gade Philip YouTube channel. Yes, it has. So say hi to the people.
Hey guys, I am back. And definitely better. Wow, I didn't know it's been 3 years. Child, I ran away from this platform. I ran away.
Where have you been? Where have you been? Where have you been?
I have been in my wilderness. That's where I've been.
Any reason why?
Yeah, I wanted... Okay, not for the past 3 years. I think for the past... Are you sure it's 3 years since I last came on your platform? What was the last video we filmed?
Oh, it was about my sexuality. Do you remember? I filmed it in your living room.
I don't think I was in it there.
You was in it.
I don't remember.
We sat down and spoke about sexuality and whether it's a choice. Do you not remember? And you had your hair up in a bun.
I don't remember. But anyways,
yeah.
After that, I think life, like we're all just trying to hustle and bustle and buckle. Then last year, I think I just hid from everywhere. Like it wasn't just your channel. I just wasn't even on my own channel. And that's because I was in my wilderness. I was finding out who Maggie was in this new season.
I feel like in my personal opinion, I feel like you've always known who you are to some extent.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, if I'm being honest, when we first met, I was a bit like tough. Like I feel like I had a wall with you where I just did not want to I was like, who's this girl?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want to let you in. And I feel like that was because you were just comfortable in who you were, but I wasn't comfortable in who I was.
Yeah. So
this new person that's coming, I'm like, who's this girl? Like, do I want to talk to her? Do I not? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it took a while for me to actually be like, all right, she's not evil. Do you know what I mean? But
do you know what? I've realised, that a lot of people get that notion from me, especially even in the industry. I think I disturb people's spirit.
You hold people accountable, I think, as well.
If your spirit ain't right.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like, if your heart, it's like, yeah.
I agree. Because I feel like you're not an idle talker. Like, you don't just talk about... You're not someone that just talks about anything. That there needs to be a purpose when it comes to the conversation. Yeah. And I feel like there was also a video that we did where we spoke about like I think I was just ranting about my life, my family and whatever. And we were also talking about like friendships and do you remember that conversation? And everyone was in it, and then
for rain at the house.
To you,
or we tried to release food.
No. In Orpington. And I had a conversation, and we were talking to you, and I said to you something like, "Oh, I feel like sometimes when you speak, you're condescending."
Oh yes,
do you remember that?
Yeah.
I take that back, you know.
Really?
Because I feel like you know when you view someone through someone else's lens, it's hard to like get your own perception of them, and until I actually wiped the lens and saw you for who you were, that was when I thought like nothing you say is like malicious intent, from a judgmental place. Even from a religious stance, it's never been judgmental. It's just
my truth.
Yeah,
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And obviously, you're not the only person that I've met with a similar background, and I realized this is who you are. And I feel like I kind of again had this wall, which is crazy. I'm not trying to flex or anything, but even being in a relationship as well, I've had a lot of growing up to do because I've been ignorant to just culture, different people, different ages. And it's just been mad. It's been a mad 3 years, I can't lie, for me anyway.
Yeah.
So
you're right. I feel like 3 years ago, had you asked me if I knew who I was, I'd have told you yes. But I think I didn't know who I was becoming. There's also that. I knew change was coming, but who was I becoming? Because the thing is, sometimes the Bible talks about... Sorry, guys. The Bible talks about, the tribe of Issachar. They knew times and seasons, right? So I think that's something I think I have the grace for. That, if I can see that I'm about to walk into a season, but who am I to be able to actually walk in that season well? Does that make sense? Oh, God, I'm about to grow and you want me to become, let's say, a wife. But, who do I need to be to become a wife? And I think that's what I didn't know. So I had to kind of go into my wilderness to kind of find out who I was going to be in the things that are coming.
How do you deal with, because I feel like you have so many different friends with so many different walks of life, and obviously you're on your own journey. How do you deal with that?
I think when you're dealing with people, I think you have to remember they're people. I think sometimes when people are dealing with people and you have to remember you're dealing with people, and you have to also know you're a person. I think because you're right, I have friends. Every friend of mine is very different. I don't have we're all one group. I have you here, I have JJ there, I'll have Natalie here, I'll have Daisy. All my I have so many friends, right? But I treat everybody as their own individual person. And for example, how I approach you won't be how I approach JJ. You're just both two different men, right? So I think as a person, you have to know how to also adapt to who you're talking to. And also, I don't know. And I think it's a grace that God's given me, because there's one thing about me, I think I steward my friendships well. Even though, let's say I don't call you guys as I used to every day, I think I steward my friendships well. And there was, I don't know. It's a grace, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense.
I understand.
I think it's a gift. It's a grace, it's a gift. Yeah, that you have to just...
Where do you think the wisdom in you come from? Because I feel like you're quite mature for your age. A lot of people might not believe how old you actually are, but you can have a conversation with someone that's in their 40s, 50s, you get what I mean? And it not feel like, who's this little girl? Who's this small girl? Do you know what I mean?
It's always been in me. I've always been an old soul. Always. I think and I don't know, but I think you can tell children that have old souls, and I think I've been one of them. Yeah. I think from very young, I've actually been very intelligent, but people have always deemed me as dumb. Does that make sense? People put me in a bracket. And I think that's the problem. I think what surprises people is when I go beyond the bracket that they put me in. So, but I think it comes from, I think it's just something that God put in me. It's innate. I don't think I'm trying to be smart. I don't know big words. I just know them. And even the big words I know are not big words. Does that make sense? I speak using basic colloquial words. I don't use fancy words, fancy English. But I think because of maybe how I articulate myself, I sound wise. I am confident about what I say. I think from that people just know wise.
So it's been a while since I've seen you. A lot's changed in terms of my look, as you can see, my content, and we was even having a conversation about who do I want to be, or what's my goal when it comes to social media? Because
what is your goal?
If I'm being honest, right now, I feel like this is the first year. Well, this is the first year and a half where I felt like there's no drama, there's no hassle. So I feel like I've had the opportunity to have a fresh start, because I feel like I was, even back when I first started, I was just touching the surface. And again, I don't feel like a lot of the people that were watching me for me. So I don't feel like anybody really knew who I was. So now is my chance for people to just see who I am. And I feel like I'm just dibbling and dabbling in a bit of everything. One thing I know about myself is that I love talking to... I always love talking, whether it's on camera, whether it's to my friends. I love having deep conversations. I love talking about mental health. Those are the type of stuff, like my career, business. I'm very business orientated, and I want my businesses to flourish. So those are the key things that are on the top of my mind. But social media specifically, I try not to put myself in a box, because I believe that there's different avenues and different people that I feel like I can reach. One thing that I've started to talk about, which if you guys have seen it or not, is my skin bleaching. I've stopped the skin bleaching. I'm a lot darker. And did we ever have any conversations about my skin bleaching?
Yeah, I think we did, but it wasn't like, I think we did, but it wasn't something that we spoke about heavy on. But yeah, we did speak about it.
What was your stance on it? Because I feel like a lot of people don't believe me when I say that a lot of my friends, a lot of my family just left me alone when it came to the bleaching topic. Like, no one really kind of like sat me down and had like an interrogation. Do you get what I mean? Mm-hmm. So what was your thoughts when I used to do it, or when you met me and was like, "Raw, like this guy's..."
But I remember, like, even in the house, I'd be like, why are you doing that? You are, yeah, leave me. Like, you used to always like laugh it off.
Yeah.
What did I think about it? I don't think I had any thoughts to it, and I think the reason why I didn't is because I knew who you were, and I could see in general, as a person, I think you struggle to love yourself in your fullness anyway. So it's like there isn't much questions to ask when you no, but wow. Like, when you know the reason why you're asking, why are you asking why someone's doing it? I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I was with you to know, for example, like back then you hadn't even come out, let's say, about your sexuality. Like, a lot of the things you were doing were, for me, displays of a person that didn't truly love themselves. Like, you were very... Even like, let's say with even what you're doing, your craft, like you were very like, like, so that was just another byproduct. Do you know what I mean? So it's like me asking you, it's just why we're having this conversation when clearly I know the answer.
Woo!
Do you know what I mean? But
have you thought about, well, since your break, have you thought about what you want to do for your platform or your goal for social media? Do you have a solid goal?
Yeah, I think for me... And I think that's the question I was going to ask you, because you said, so I don't think you haven't answered.
I don't have a specific goal.
You don't have a specific goal, and you said you don't want to be put in a box.
Yes, but I do want to build myself to the point where I no longer have to rely on social media to make an income. I definitely want to be able to have a fully functioning business. I want to open a restaurant. I want to open a salon. There's a lot of things that I want to open, but obviously... To fund those things or to invest in those things, I want to create the funds to do it. Because obviously, a lot of you guys may not know, I come from a business background.
And I see that over you. Like, even in terms of like 3-4 years ago, all of us started businesses, and you're the only one that's actually stayed consistent in actually running a business. But then, okay, so so business and running a business is your purpose in life, right?
Oh, in life?
No, because that's a byproduct. So you're saying once you get the funds, you want to start...
becoming a business owner, yes.
So would you want, like, in terms of, like, your purpose in life, like, to run a business and...
Run a business and also be behind the camera. I feel like I'm very good at, like, the editing, the designing. I want to have a house of, like, for creative people to come to and learn. Because I feel like a lot of my friends, like, they come to me, oh, how do you do this? Or can you help me with this? And I feel like I studied graphic design. It's a capability of mine. So those are the things I want to do in terms of behind the camera. There's so many things, I don't know, but maybe you can give me your thoughts.
My thoughts?
Yeah.
Are you sure you want my thoughts?
Yes. Go on, what do you think?
But I think I've had this conversation with you. I think, and I hear, from a content creator's point of view, I hear it because I was succumbed to it at one point. I think you do what is working in that moment.
You're right.
And I think that can be problematic because then in that moment you take up an identity
for that moment.
And then my thing is, you're going to get to a point where it's like, okay, but... Because the thing is, with this identity thing, especially with our work, we don't really switch off. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, it's so consistent that the identity you take up for work continues.
Yeah.
Why did you go? What?
Because you make me think about it. It's just like,
and that's why I don't want. I feel like right now you're also on a high, and I also know like might have a conversation to start making you think, okay, maybe you want to change. So keep it.
No, it won't. I'm okay.
So yeah, because like, and that's my thing. The thing is, you're right, and I think the one thing for me, I know you're very, very good at, like, and I think that will never change, is your ability to speak, your ability to relate, and your ability to be transparent. But I think you silence that a lot for what is working in that moment and for what trends. But the issue is then you become basically a puppet for the show.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
When we don't want the red hair, you put on the purple hair. If we don't want if you don't want the trouser, you put on it. Do you know? I don't know if you get me. Like, you change for whatever the show wants. Like show meaning social media. Like what social media is looking for. But I understand it's also our job, so that's what we have to do. But this is the issue with our jobs, is that our jobs and our real lives cross over very, very quickly. And that's why I'm even shocked, for example. I was like, oh, you're now a makeup boy now. Like,
we was going to get into that, but before we get into that, you have to tell me about your purpose, what you think your purpose is, or where do you want to get to?
I think when one way I'm learning to maneuver life is in seasons. Life is in seasons. So for example, for 2024, I strongly believe that like God has me in a place to bring healing and deliverance to his people. Like in 2024, I believe like when I'm going on platforms, when I'm doing whatever I'm doing, is this bringing healing? Is this bringing deliverance? And how does that look like? But when I think of myself in general as Maggie, I think I have my gift, my purpose is to speak life into people. And not just to speak life, is to help people bring whatever dead thing they have into life, in themselves back up to life, and to help people basically bring who they are out. I think that's my gift, like helping people bring out the inner them, the person that God's designed you to be. That's my gift.
I feel like you've done that with me a few times.
And then you hide back and then you come out.
There was a period. I want to share this, but there was a period of time where like social media was like my personal social media was like up in flames. Like a lot was going on, and obviously I came to you like hysterical, and I'm like, Maggie, like this is going on. I don't know what to do. I was crying. I'm like, please just help me. And your sisters like prayed over me. Like I will never forget that day. I will never, ever, I mean this from the bottom of my heart, I will never forget that day. I was like, wow. It just like, in that moment, it just cleared my mind. Literally just relaxed me. And then every decision I made after that was just like... With clarity. Yeah. And I don't know what it was. I don't know, but maybe it was the Holy Spirit.
Maybe. Wait, if it wasn't the Holy Spirit, what was it?
No, maybe I'm saying maybe it was the Holy Spirit.
It was the Holy Spirit.
Okay, it was the Holy Spirit.
Yeah, you better... Don't start the maybes.
No, I definitely... Like, I 100% appreciate that, and I don't feel like I had any friend during that time, especially with what I was going through. It's not something that... It needed to be someone that was present in it to understand, because just telling my friend over there like what was going, they wouldn't have understand like why. They'll be like, why are you so bothered? But people don't understand that like in that moment, social media was my bread and butter. Yeah. It was my everything.
That's how you were surviving.
Literally. So I felt like it was me. I wasn't even myself. Yeah. YouTube was me. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So even now, like, I'm glad that I don't have to constantly be present on social media, and I'm grateful. But I mean, like, in terms of revealing such depth about my life, about things that I'm going through, because as much as it might be therapeutic, like going over it on camera and being able to watch it, like, I'm not actually processing it. I've not actually processed it before I've decided to even talk about it. I've just jumped in front of the camera and started talking about it. Yeah. So I'm glad I can sit with myself now and just think about what I'm going through. If I'm going through like a hard time or my mental health is a bit rocky, I can actually sit in my thoughts and deal with it. And
yeah, I think you've changed a lot. I think you were very irrational back in the day. No, seriously, like maybe because I can see how stable you are now. Then when I look back on it, and that's the thing, it's like you knew how to be stable, but it's like you would be unstable. Like you used to actually be like,
I was so
like.
Just like you couldn't even chat to me, like what is it? Like I was so irritable, and don't get me wrong, I feel like that is still there. That does still happen where times I just feel like, oh, please, like I do get like that, but it's very far and few in between. I can't lie,
even right now you're very like with yourself.
No, but I feel like because I'm with someone that actually knows me. I'm not with a stranger. And the thing is, I'm in a place where I have nothing to hide. I have nothing to hide. Everything the worst of the worst has been revealed, said, done. Do you get what I mean?
You know, I'm laughing because you said because I'm actually someone I know that. I always remember, I don't know why the video of you in Westfield, you're walking in a picture. I find that video funny. I don't know why.
If someone's recording me? Yeah. No, these people irritate me, bro.
You just tell your phone like. But yeah, like I think you've changed a lot. I feel like
it's hard though.
Why?
Because I just feel like, I'm not gonna lie, like I feel like a lot of the shit that I've done is just stuck with me, and I'm just like, nah. No, but in terms of like, even when I meet, like I remember I met a girl at an event, and she was like, "Oh my god, you're so nice in person. I would have thought that you would. You just look like the person that would slap me in my face." And I was just like, obviously she's being dramatic, but I just feel like to even think of me on that side of things, I'm just like, why? But sometimes I get it, but then I'm just like, you don't need to understand that this is content. Like, obviously, I'm a bold and charismatic person on camera, but in real life, I'm chill. Like, I'm just quiet. Yeah. I'm in general, like, I'm a quiet person. I observe the room. If I'm comfortable and cool with you, like, we'll chat and we'll be chatting for hours. And then if I'm upset or if I need to defend myself, of course, I'm gonna handle that. But in general, I'm quite chill. Mm-hmm. Which a lot of people they're like, wow, like, oh my god, you're so even when people approach me, they're like, what, got it? They shout and scream, and I just think to myself, where do you get that from? But I do understand that with a lot of the stuff that I've done, I come across like this bold kind of just when I walk in the room, I'm front stage and center. Do you get what I mean? But yeah,
no, you've changed a lot. Like I don't know why people see that though. I feel like especially in your transition of content, I wouldn't.
My content, I talk less. That's what keeps me out of trouble.
Yeah,
I talk less. I leave the talking for YouTube.
But and I think and I also think it's because I know you. Like there's some topics, yeah, like you be chiming in on. I'm like, I know you're just chatting. Like I know if I was to call you right now, and that's the thing, guys. I love having my friends as content creators because I know if I was to call you right now, you're not gonna talk like this, and you're probably not gonna have even exact. It's content. Like we always do content. Like I don't
it's
know.
It's always exaggerated.
You know what I mean? But I think I just say maybe because I know you. Like you're very very mature. And the thing is, our audience has also changed. Also another thing as well, I don't think like certain stereotypes have clicked. Our audience has developed. Like our audience
older with us.
Yeah,
people that I've met and they're like, oh my god, I used to watch you when I was in 14. High school. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, our audience has changed. So in terms of like, our audience has changed. I don't think people still group you in. I don't, anyways. But I also don't really engage on social media anymore. Yeah. So maybe I'm not seeing certain things. Yeah.
One thing that has changed is the makeup. As you guys can see in my last video, you lot was talking about, oh, your makeup looks terrible, because they took it and put it on TikTok and it was like, God, his makeup looks terrible. Guys, that was a bad day. But today, you can comment below and tell me what you think.
Do you actually do makeup with your hands?
No. Why?
Like when you're staying in the car and you do all of that, is that stuff real?
No, it's content. I just saw someone do it, so I copied it.
I actually thought that stuff was real.
No. But what do you think of this whole makeup content? I want to know your thoughts.
What do I think about it? I just think it's a phase.
Okay.
I just think it's a phase. And I might be wrong. I just think it's a phase. Or maybe it's a new. I think it's a phase.
I feel like it's a new thing that I'm channeling, or no. But in terms of like,
it's something you stepped into.
Yeah, but it's always been there because I've always had friends that do makeup. Okay. I've always had friends that are in hair, makeup, that type of
And you've always been a person. Like I know, for example,
And I'm
you've always
practical. I'm a practical person.
No, I know you're prim and proper. So like things like you used to always do your skincare and stuff.
Yes.
Don't know what practical means.
Practical in the sense where I'm good with doing stuff. If you give me a task, I will learn and do it. Like if you was to ask me, oh, can you straighten my hair?
Yeah.
See, I didn't know how to do it, but if you give me the challenge, I'm gonna do it. Do you get what I mean?
And that's the thing, right? And that's what I'm saying. And that's why I for me, it would have been a phase. But at the same time, knowing you and let's say your past, you're the type of person that it might start off as one thing and it ends up just being a new thing. For example, like hair. You weren't doing hair before. You jumped into hair because you were introduced into it, and now you still stick to it. You still sell hair. But the reason why I'm saying maybe it's a phase and maybe it isn't, because my thing is like, I don't know if you would have dabbled into makeup had it not been the relationship you're in now. Like fully, fully.
Fair enough.
But again,
I can't like back in 2019, 2020, I was wearing makeup. But I was wearing concealer.
But why did you okay?
Because I used to bleach my skin.
Okay, but why you wear makeup now? Like now.
Okay, so I actually was filming TikToks today. Okay. So I had done
makeup TikTok.
Yes, it was like I was reviewing something for an advert. Cool. Obviously I've done this today, but obviously on a normal day I'm not wearing makeup.
Do you think? I'm gonna ask you anyways. Do you think men should wear makeup, like full face, like?
I feel like it's subject to the individual. To be honest,
what do you think? As you like,
I'm not opposed to it because obviously I've always been following my boyfriend even before I met him.
Yeah.
I was following him and I admired his creativity and I admired his confidence. Even now, like I admire that he can go out in a full face, lashes, lipstick, and like just be himself. Do you get what I mean? He doesn't wear it all the time, but when he does, I admire it. But I understand that it's content at the end of the day, and obviously his craft is not on himself; it's on other people. Him doing it on himself is just another extension of it, but it's not who he is. I am a gay man, and in this environment, you see a lot of things. Even before I was wearing makeup, I've met guys that do drag, and I've met trans people. Like I've met all different types of people. So I've just it's always been present. Do you get what I mean?
So you're normal. It's normal.
Yeah, it's normal to me.
With men and makeup, I understand the art. I appreciate the art. Like for example, because then I genuinely like, it's like, let's say if a girl was to cut her hair, like do you know what I mean? Like I respect like the art. Like if you do makeup, so you actually learn how to do your makeup. But I think it's I don't understand the going out in it. Like
yes,
it's just a bit like.
Fair enough, that's fine.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's like with us girls, and I'm genuinely asking to inquire. We wear makeup to obviously feel beautiful and to go out and to feel good. Like it's something to make us more. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like to make you feel more.
But I feel like even for me, like I feel like sometimes makeup could just make me just look clean. No. But in terms of like, not like bronzer and blush and all that on mascara, I'm not talking about that. Okay, but I mean just mean like concealer or like foundation.
No. See, that's fine.
That's fine. That I believe is a way to like clean up and just, if you're going to appear on professional camera, lighting, I believe that is what the general consensus. But obviously the extension of it is there's some men that want to feel beautiful. Just,
really?
Yeah,
okay, no. Okay,
I
was just asking. I didn't understand that. I was just asking. Okay, interesting. Yeah, so the makeup thing, it's... I with you, I prefer the makeup thing to the nails thing, especially the nails you be doing.
Well, they're not on today, but again, that was another thing that I was introduced to, and it was going viral, so I ran with it. Do you get what I mean? But even now, I'm not wearing nails. Yeah, it's not a thing that I must go and do. It's not a necessity. And again, it's like, I feel like what happens is with social media is when people start to see things regularly, they think that's who you are, who you've become now. And I need people to understand, like, on a normal day, that there's no makeup. On a normal day, there's no, like, not right now, there's no nails. I've not been filming for how many months? There's no nails, you get what I mean? But there was definitely a period where my videos were going viral because I was getting my nails done, so I continued to do it.
Okay, but can you see how that can also be problematic though?
Yes,
yeah.
I understand, yes.
I hear it. Pay the bills.
Yeah, I'm in a relationship now. I feel like this is the first
time I'm officially meeting him.
No, this is the first time you're actually seeing me even openly talk about guys and stuff like that. Because I wasn't out. I never discussed dating or anything with anyone really. It was just me. It was 2020 when it all just kicked off. But 2019, 2020 when it all kicked off. Yeah, but yeah. What do you think?
About what?
Now that I'm in a relationship, do you think I've changed since being in a relationship? In terms,
I think you've calmed down a bit more.
Okay, I will definitely say that. When being in a relationship, you have to think about the other person, and especially that he's a content creator as well. He has his own brand, so in the beginning, I was a bit apprehensive about like openly sharing.
I was actually also very shocked at the match.
Yeah,
I didn't see that, and at first thought it didn't make sense. See,
but I need people to understand that like relationships are not black and white.
Oh yeah,
so
100%.
one doesn't have to be and one doesn't have to be like makeup and one like. Do you get what I mean? It doesn't. Two of you like can be femme boy. It's just a whole thing, but. It's a lot deeper than the surface, and we're also human as well.
I'm talking about a reason. I'm talking about the match didn't make sense to me was based on like personality and character.
Okay.
Like I just thought like I've seen this guy on Instagram. He just does his makeup and minds his business.
Yeah.
He's now got himself a Veyesbeauty guy that just loves all the drama and all the. I was thinking, like I'm actually like, and I'm actually surprised you guys have made this long. I promise you.
I can't. It has been rocky, but that's every relationship.
No, of course, every relationship is rocky. But I'm talking about like, I'm surprised it didn't end up in a. After 1 year, you guys back and forth on social media, like a story time.
Yeah.
But it also shows the genuineness of of it.
And I actually met him like as a friend, and we actually met each other as friends, and it formed from there. Like I genuinely did not even want to post about a relationship online, especially when I even felt like when we met, I was still in the little dramas. So I was just like, oh, please, I don't want to do this because I don't want my followers to come and start bombarding you and like making you feel a type of way and not want to do certain things. So yeah, but I feel like I got to a happy place, and I wanted to share it. Do you get what I mean? And then it's just been like that ever since.
What's the goal?
In terms of us, I'm in it for a lifetime. There's no goal in terms of. I want him to, like, which he has done. Like he's taught me a lot, especially like I'm a lot less ignorant to even African culture. I feel like I was very ignorant to African culture, African food, African people.
Yes.
Like, so like meeting him, and he's very into his culture, and his family is very prominent in his life. So I've had to accept it and learn. Do you get what I mean? And do some unlearning. Yeah. So. It's been good. I still feel like I'm growing as an individual. And in this relationship, I've learned a lot about myself. Yeah. Like, and obviously there's been challenges in our relationship where I have triggers and you get jealous and all those types of things. And I'm thinking, why am I feeling this way? And why am I thinking this way about my relationship and things like that? And it's just a new thing because I feel like every situation I was in before was just stripping this. It was just someone had a motive, or there was just some higgy hagger going on where my lens wasn't clear. So right now I just feel like I'm maturing, I'm growing up. Yeah. And again, I hope for us to buy a house and just live comfortably, like have social media there, but not as a necessity, and just to be able to live our lives, travel the world, and you get what I mean? But yeah.
Interesting.
And what about you? How is relationships for you? What?
I'm a taken woman, soon to be an engaged woman, soon to be a wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a goal in terms of like when you want to get married, or do you want to let God handle that?
Soon-ish.
Am I invited to the wedding?
And I don't know. I'm joking. Yes, you are.
Yeah.
There you are, I don't know. I don't know now if you should. I don't know if I should just.
But we're not talking about the makeup. Why are we bringing up makeup? That's not.
But
my presence is what matters, not the makeup. Why are we going to makeup? That's
because my family is also very.
That's fine. But can you tell I've got makeup on right now?
Foundation, no. Eyebrows, yes. Because it's a bit darker.
Yeah.
But no, but I'm just saying, because of course, like I'm just saying, I don't mind you coming. I don't even mind you coming with the makeup. But if you're coming to my wedding and you want to have a good time, I just don't know how my family can sometimes just be a bit outlandish. Like, my mom's even says, like, God, why you have makeup on? Like, do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, you're invited to my wedding, of course, 100%. Like, you know that, though. Like, you actually thought you might not be invited to my wedding.
I'm just asking you. I never thought.
Why would you ask that?
I'm asking. Can I not ask?
Oh.
I have to ask. But
yeah, you'll be invited for sure. Like, I think, but that's but if you see, even that feels bad, because I feel like I'm not saying come as you are, but I'm saying you can come as you are if you want, but my family chat, but you can come to my wedding. You're coming to my wedding for sure.
Okay, I've got a question. So, obviously, you invited me to church.
Yeah.
And I was going to church. And obviously, I feel like, personally, I had a breakthrough with God and Christ. Because, again, this was like the first year where I felt like I was, by the way, I was in a relationship, but just something in me was like a bit unsettled. And I was a bit unsure of myself. I was like God, where am I meant to be? Like, where are you taking me? Like, I had lost my flat. Like, I was just in my head about everything. And I started coming to church. And
I love that you're coming, because that's what we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be in fellowship.
And I came with my nails. I had my nails on. No, I did have...
God came to church with his 6-inch nails. He kept doing this. Like, I was like, God, it's fine. Like, you were coming to church with your inch nails and you weren't trying to, like, just be free. Like, guys, I've never seen someone clench up their fist so much, and their nails are even stabbing his finger.
You have to. This is a new space. It's new people. I get the come as you are, but still, I don't want the stares. And there was even moments where I had to raise my hands and spread my hands like this, and I was doing this because I was just like, I don't want them to see my nose. And people was looking. I just thought, oh. But yeah.
Why did you not want them to see your nails? This thing, forget even church. God came to a house on time with black nails, black and red nails. I said to God, put out your hands. He didn't want to show them. If you done
because I just don't even want the questions.
No, but if you done them, be ready for the questions.
Fair enough.
But yeah, he came to church. He had to. What do you think about coming to church? I think it's where we all need to be.
I loved it. I felt like my mind was clear, and I felt like every week that when I was going, because we'll get into why I haven't been for the last few months, but I felt like my mind was, when I walked into it, I just felt free. I felt like every word was for me, was meant for me. And yeah, it was nice. And I can't lie, I never thought that I would end up back in church, because a lot of you guys might not believe this, but I used to go to Sunday school every Sunday. I stopped going maybe like at around 12. And then I started to go to
mosque.
Like, I just was brought into like Islam, and I kind of just went with it. But yeah, I just came to church one day and I didn't question it. I did not question it at all, and I didn't feel pressured. I didn't, and I don't. It was like one day you was like, "Do you want to come to church?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah, you're sure, why not? Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah."
But that's one thing you've always been like, yeah, like you don't resist it.
Yeah.
Like you're always, and I love that about you. Like you're
when
always,
you want to pray, I'm down
you're
to
like,
pray.
let's pray.
When you want to.
Even sometimes you'll be like, let's just pray.
Yeah.
Like you pray, yeah. You've been very receptive to it.
I'm down. I'm down because, again, I believe in God. I believe everything that I've been through.
Which God?
I believe in God, man.
Which God?
Jesus Christ. I believe in Jesus. I do. What? And I believe that everything that I've been through.
And I'm thinking of people, there was a time me and him sat on YouTube and debated Islam versus Christianity.
Again, I like everything I've been through, I swear to God, no cameras, no nothing. you lot don't even understand my mental and the shit that I've been through. And I'm thinking, why is this happening? Why am I being led here? What is going on? Like, who do I speak to? Who do I ask? And it's got to learn. It's got to learn that I can ask. It's Jesus Christ, honestly.
We thank God.
And again, I wanted to touch on, earlier this year, I stopped going. So I was telling you that I was going to worship Tabernacle.
Yes.
And then I was going with a friend.
Yeah.
And me and that friend like got into a disagreement. And I feel like the disagreement was so bad where I felt like this can't be a woman of God. This can't be someone that is practicing like newly baptized as well. Like it was so dark and it affected me mentally. Like I was like in bed in my house for like a week. Like Dami couldn't chat to me. Like I swear to you, it was bad. And I was just like, I can't go to church if this is what. Do you know what I mean? That's what I was thinking, and that I can't like. That's why I haven't been. It's a lame excuse.
Yeah, but it's your truth.
That was a trigger for me because it was someone that I was kind of buddying up with and talking to, and do you know what I mean? What do you think about that?
I think.
What do you think about people that like? I don't know, because I do feel like with this person, like they dip in and they dip out, and they can sometimes weaponize religion, especially because I do believe that
when it suits them.
Yeah, and I do believe that everyone sins, and I do feel like sometimes like the way is presented to me like a conversation or topic that she may have wanted to address.
Yeah.
It wasn't light-hearted. There was always like talks of the devil and all them type of stuff when it would come to like some of the things that I'm posting. Yeah, I feel like often the way the conversations were presented were very heavy.
Yeah.
Where I felt like I was being judged.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, is this the right person to be talking to?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've just kind of stepped back and I'm just like, I was even thinking about buying a Bible so that maybe to just maybe sometimes just do it at home.
I validate your experience 100%.1, and I can even validate you. And I'm only saying this for a second, which I also don't agree with, but I don't agree with this. But I'm going to say this: I'll also validate you leaving that church, maybe because you don't want to bump into her, right? Even though I don't also agree with that, I'm just saying I would have understood that more. But then you just stopped going to church, period. Yeah. And this is just an encounter, based off an encounter with one person that wasn't good. But then there's also people like me who have by the grace of God, always been consistent in my character. Yeah. But why was that not a factor that kept you going? Does that make sense? I also don't agree that at the same time leaving even a church that they say was feeding you because of somebody. And the reason why I say that is because even Christians themselves can be people that the enemy can use to cause you to stumble. And this is the issues. For example, as you said, like you said, when you looked at her, you're like, you're supposed to be Christian yourself, and if you're doing this, I don't want to go. You made her your God. We don't realize sometimes we idolize people, even in terms of where we want to be in our standing with. We idolize people, even in terms of their standing with God and our standing with God. It's like, oh, I like how this person is in their faith, so let me follow them and let me walk beside them and let me be like them. But then what you do, then you make them God, and when they fail you, you just leave the whole thing totally. And that's what a lot of people that's what a lot of people are in, and that is what has happened to a lot of people. But I can understand that, because it's so easy to just make somebody the face. It's an easy mistake that we all fall into. So I can understand why you stopped. I don't agree with it. I can understand more maybe why I didn't go to that church, but I don't understand why I stopped going to church, period. I think, as you said it yourself, it was an excuse. But then this is also where, on the other side, us as Christians also have to be better. Because it's not about how much scriptures you can preach or how bad you can make somebody feel that they're going to hell. It's not about how much you can condemn and convict somebody. It's about how much can you reflect the Bible you preach and teach. How much? Because like, if you don't even live the life you're telling me to live, why should I live it? If you don't look like the person you want me to look, why should I live it? When you don't even believe the book you're reading, so why should I believe it? So I can understand, and I think we have to, as believers, understand the power we carry in terms of our influence. Like, we can influence somebody to go to church or somebody to not go to church. And God will judge you based on that. But you also need to understand that people aren't Perfect. Yeah. They're not your God. That's what you get for idolatry. For placing her in a position you should have placed Jesus.
Wow.
Every idol will fall. And your idol fell. And when your idol fell, it showed that you had no foundation.
Oops.
Because you fell with it.
Maybe I'll go out. Well, I will be going back to church.
And then this time, what are you doing? Different.
Not seeking out, not using somebody else as a vessel and just going for myself. Yeah, just going for myself.
People always people change. We're fickle. Today I might be and tomorrow I just might switch up. But if you know who your foundation is built on or who has sent you, I'm telling you, the enemy is so slick. He's so slick, and that's the thing. He wants to play with you. Same thing that you are finding your peace in, he just takes it out, but using somebody. Don't let the enemy take you out.
As a Christian, how do you navigate like what content you partake in, what content you post, and like what brand deals you do and things like that? How have you juggled that?
I think I have juggled that more recently now with leaning more into the voice of the Holy Spirit and thinking about purpose more than paper. I think the moment you place paper first, you're not going to be able to hear the purpose part. So I think for me, it's like let me put it this way. Like, if you focus on, oh my God, this is such a good deal, good deal, what should I do? Because you're so focused on it being good, you're not going to hear God. So I always, like, if I'm in between an opportunity, I always make sure, like, it's, God, what do you want? I know this is good, but what do you want? And on top of that, I'm under a manager that's Christian. So, like, my manager is Christian, so she doesn't even bring things to me that can possibly be out. It's like, so already the first layer is gone. Does that make sense? My manager's Christian, so, and that's actually something I'm also going to start doing soon. In fact, I even need to do it this month. Today's the 1st, right? I'm gonna tomorrow pray with her, praying and fasting with my team. She has to be backed by the Holy Spirit, because again, to me, social media is destiny. I don't know if you got what I mean. Like, it's influence. There's influence and there's destiny attached to it. Like, this can allow me to step into the person God's called me to be. So if I allow my manager to be compromised, then I'm compromised.
Because there was a time where you kind of held back from posting about Christianity. Yeah. So have you stopped just deciding, oh, you're not going to post, or you just, whatever you feel to post, you post?
I think I held back before because it was a very sensitive spot. Like, the one thing I didn't want anybody ever talking about was my relationship with God. Yeah. It's kind of like, that was something so triggering to me. But now God's given me the grace to stand. Do you know, it's kind of like, do you know, with a relationship, there's times in your relationship where it's like, I don't want anyone talking about my man. Then you hit a point where it's like, do you know what, you can say what you want because that's still my man. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I think before, people's comments could play in my head, and I used to feel I was easily offended. Yeah. Like,
I feel like a lot of times you got a lot of comments because of how you dressed.
Yeah. And it used to annoy me because it's like, so yeah, it used to heavily annoy, and I hate feeling angry, especially by social, like, I hate when social media used to draw me out of character. Because it's like, I'm not about to start ranting with you guys. So I think that's what it was. Like, if I know something can offend me or it's proper, like, sensitive for me, I'm not posting it.
Okay.
It's like, even with my relationship, as of now, I don't post it. But no, now I've started to post it. At first I wasn't posting it. It was too sensitive for me. I don't want anyone making a comment because it will annoy me. And that's okay. I think there's some seasons kind of like with let's say a child, when the child is still in the womb or when a child is still a baby, don't talk about my child because my child can't defend themselves. Once your baby grows, your baby can defend themselves. I don't know if you get what I mean. Like, I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but it's like, yes, it's that type of thing, ish.
So you're at a place now where you just post to whatever you feel to post, you just post without worrying about.
I think my audience has changed as well. Audience has thoroughly changed. I think a lot of the people that I feel like there's a bit more respect when it comes to my brand now. Yeah. That people can't just talk anyhow. But there's still there's still them odd few people now that will still be funny. But it's just like, I brush it. back then people were very disrespectful. I think that people could come and just talk anyhow.
On your birthdays, you do praise and worship. Mm-hmm. Why do you do that?
The reason I did it is because when I was in the world, every time for my birthday I used to throw parties. And I just don't do that anymore. Like, I just don't do parties. I use that. I remember, I love a party. I'm like, I'm a person that loves people. I love drawing crowds. And I'm like, I used to do it in the world, so why don't I do it for the kingdom? I used to throw waves. Why didn't I just throw a praise and worship night for Jesus? And for the past 2 years, yeah, I've done that. And it's been, is it 2 or 3 years, Gode?
I think 3.
It's 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
3 years, yeah. How many have you come to?
I didn't come to last year.
So you've come to? 2. Yeah, so it's been 3. Yeah, it's been 3. So by the grace of God, it's been 3. And I think it's just... I actually wasn't going to do it this year, but people are like, Maggie, you need to do it, you need to do it, you need to do it. And it's like, just celebrate my birthday in the presence. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think it's also a good way to cross over. I dedicate my year onto him, my age. Mm.
I feel like how important is community for you?
So important. So important. There's a proverb, an African proverb says it takes a village to build a child. But what happens when that child grows up? What happens to the village? The village dismantles. If a child needed a village to help raise him, then I think to also help maintain him, a village is still needed. I love community. Community is everything to me.
Okay, because I feel like even on your birthdays, like so many people come out to support you, and I feel like I admire that about you, and I feel like with Dami too. Yeah. Like when it comes to like if he's in need, if it's his if he wants his people to come and support him, they're gonna show up. I feel like you two definitely have that in common, but I feel like that's also an African thing as well. To be honest.
No, you know. No, you know. A lot of people. No, that's how we used to be, but it's we've become such a to myself generation. A lot of people don't have people. Nigerian, Ghanaian, whether you be African, English, people don't have people anymore. Everyone's so to themselves.
What do you think about this whole new wave of like celebrities being exposed for like their dark past, and like what do you think is happening in the world right now?
Exposure is taking place. Truth is coming out. And that's the thing. Anything, the Bible says, anything that's done in darkness shall come to light. Celebrities doing what they've been doing, they knew exposure will come, but they rather the success than the exposure. It's nothing new. It's been happening since the beginning of time. This is... King Solomon said this in Ecclesiastes, there's nothing under the sun that is new. Everything that is happening now is going to happen in the next generation. It's a cycle. There's nothing new. Nothing new is invented. It's a repeat, and it's a cycle. We're in cycles. So with this whole exposure of celebrities have been heavily participating in witchcraft. It's not been hence why celebrities know that they can do. Even the people that are coming up, they know that once they get to a certain place, it's knock on the Illuminati's door. It's a cycle that's been happening from the beginning. But again, everything that's done in dark shall come to light.
Do you feel like social media has changed in terms of, well, the fact that when celebrities were doing their madness, like there wasn't, so that people weren't as invested in social media, there wasn't that accessibility wasn't there where you could Google something and find out what's going on. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah 100%. Social media's brought everything to our doorstep. We don't have to go out and buy newspapers anymore. Yeah. But in terms of like news has always been a thing. Yeah. But social media has allowed news to come to our doorstep without having to leave the door.
Wow, Maggie, that was a very insightful conversation, yes, and thank you for finally coming. But it's not been long since we've spoken about it. It's not been long, about a month or so. But you came in it, you showed up.
No, the last time we spoke about, you didn't give me a date. So
I didn't give you a date, and I was doing a lot, to be honest.
Since you gave me a date, I was supposed to come yesterday, but today.
Yeah, but you came. When I messaged you and said, "Hey, you've come within a week." So that's what matters. But it was good having this talk with you.
Pleasure.
And I honestly, I don't take this friendship for granted. Whether I talk to you in 2 weeks, a month, do you get what I mean? Like when I need you and you're there. Do you get what I mean? You've helped me out a lot, which I'm very grateful for.
My brother.
And yeah, that was all for this Mix Up Gade, guys. Thank you so much.
Is it going to be Mix Up Gade? Yeah. Fix Up Gade. Don't forget to like,
comment,
share.
I don't say that.
And subscribe. And if you guys want a part 2, let me know. You guys want to ask your own personal questions. Maybe you have the questions they want to ask.
Maybe I could do a Moments with Mayhem.
Oh. I'd love to have you on. I actually would love to have you on though, genuinely. Yeah. I think you're honest enough for the raw conversations.
I'm ready. Bye, guys. Next week, we're going to have Damilola, aka Senior Fenty, on Mix Up Gade. We're going to be talking about our relationship, the ins and outs. Yes, our fighting, how we come together. We're going to talk about his journey on social media, him starting on YouTube, his break from YouTube, his growth on TikTok, the hate that he gets on social media, everything. So make sure you subscribe.